got the beating of my life, that also ended any form of night adventure for me. Unfortunately, women are said to be the greatest accomplice in all of this, in the eroding of our morals. Today, it is women that will encourage the young ones, to go for parties. You see them wearing all sorts of, artificial makeups, even at a very tender age. It is also women that will take their children to the exam hall and almost want to write the exams for them. It is women that will want their children to go to universities when they are not old enough. So, let's talk about the role of women in all of this and how we can address that.
We women have a lot to play in this, considering that the major challenge is we're beginning to adopt a foreign values, where women often feel that certain roles should be done equally by men, but we forget or neglect our traditional values. Now, going back to what you said, you were beaten by your parents as a way of cautioning. But in some women these days will not even want to touch their kids. They would, I don't encourage beating, but they say that, oh, my parents abused me while I was growing up, or I don't want my child to go through what I went through. And that is why we have this challenge today. That's why we're facing this today. We're raising kids that are entitled. And it's mainly our fault as women, because we don't want children to, I didn't do this when I was younger. I don't want my child to be like this when I was younger. I want my child to be my friend. Yeah, your child can be your friend, but there need to be boundaries. So women have a lot of role to play in all of this. And it is when we begin to assume our role as women and as mothers, then we begin to reorientate the mindset of our young ones. Considering the population, over 70% of our young people are under 30, and that is huge for a country like Nigeria. We have one of the largest youth population, and if we women don't take on our role as women and begin to do all we ought to do, make sure we instill that discipline, which is part of the 7-for-7 discipline. But in discipline, it starts from the top. It's not just telling, it's a top-down thing. Children are watching their parents, they're watching their mothers. So if a mother chooses to dress in a certain way, the child is going to emulate what the mother is doing. If mother does not have time to raise your male child, or you say your male child should not be in the kitchen to cook, you are raising a child who is going to be entitled.